I am making my s'mores slab pie, which is buttery and flaky. It's perfect for a crowd. So to get started, I'm gonna make my crust. I'm gonna grab 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I'm also gonna add 1.25 cups of whole wheat flour. I'm gonna add 6 tablespoons of sugar, and now I'll add my salt, and then 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, and a few passes of nutmeg. And the nutmeg and the cinnamon combined with the whole wheat flour are what's gonna give this crust that graham crackery flavor. There we go. And now I'll whisk this to combine. Now that my dry ingredients are combined, I'll grab my butter and shortening. I like using a mix of butter and shortening in my crust. I wanna do everything that I can to keep my butter and shortening as cold as possible because that is gonna help the crust stay flaky. And I'm just gonna use my hands to smash the cubes of butter and shortening to incorporate them into my dry mixture. But I still want some larger chunks of butter and shortening. My pie dough mixture is looking ready, so now I'm gonna grab my liquid. 2/3 of a cup of cold water. It's important that it's cold, again, for the flakiness. And then I'm also adding 2 teaspoons of vinegar. Vinegar inhibits the formation of gluten in a pie crust and helps it stay flaky. I'll drizzle this in, and then I'll use a spatula to mix it all together. And it's starting to come together into a dough, so I'm gonna finish it off by just getting back in here with my hands. I'm gonna wrap it in plastic wrap now. I'll divide it in half. 1 piece for the bottom layer, 1 piece for the top layer. And I'm gonna form these blobs into rectangles because I'm making a slab pie. This is a dough that can be done a couple of days in advance. And now I'll refrigerate this for 4 hours so it can firm up. I want some more already. I'm gonna assemble my s'more slab pie now. I'll grab my rolling pin, and I have 1/2 of my dough that I'm gonna roll out for the bottom of the pie. And I'll dust my work surface with some flour so that the dough doesn't stick. And I'll also dust the top of the dough. And I wanna roll out my dough so that it's big enough to cover the pan and hang over the edges a little bit to get a nice thick crust. I'll transfer my dough to my pan. And to do that, I'm gonna roll it up. And now I'll slip my pan right underneath. I'm just helping it get molded into the corners of the pan. And now for the filling, couldn't be simpler, chocolate and marshmallows. I've got 4 chocolate bars, and I'll lay these right in, and I'll break up the 4th bar and distribute it all over, and this chocolate is all gonna melt right down. And then I'm gonna cover the chocolate with mini marshmallows. I'll spread my marshmallows all over the chocolate, and now I'll grab my other half of the pie crust to roll out for the top. So I'll roll this out just like I rolled out the bottom layer of crust. Okay, this top crust is looking ready, and I'm going to gently transfer it to the top of the pie. Woo! All right, now I'm gonna go around and pinch the edges to seal, and then I'm gonna grab my scissors to trim off any excess edges. And now my favorite part, I'm gonna use my fingers to make a crimping pattern on the edge. And I'll brush this all over with a thin layer of egg wash, and that'll help the top of the pie get shiny. And then the last thing I'll do before I'll bake this is I'm gonna poke a few holes in the top with a fork, just to release the steam. This is gonna bake at 400 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes until the top is golden, and I cannot wait to eat this. This is stunning, and it already smells like camp in here. Okay, I'm gonna let my pie cool while I make my chocolate glaze. I'll grab some milk and cocoa powder, and now I'm gonna add 3 cups of powdered sugar to my bowl. 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, some salt, and 6 tablespoons of whole milk. And now I'll mix it until it's smooth. And I'm looking for a thick, spreadable consistency. This is perfect. It's ready to go on my pie. Okay, I'm gonna use an offset spatula now to zhuzh it around. I like getting nice big swoops in the glaze. Oh, it's so glossy and gorgeous. Okay, sprinkles time. I have these cute sprinkles that have little tiny marshmallows in them. I'll sprinkle these all over. It's so great. It's like a big fancy s'more.